Hello everyone, it's your Shilpa. Wait a minute. I express my dissent. I object overtly. I'm entitled to my opinion and I make a difference from you. Let's agree to disagree. Come on. So when it comes to our pride, when it comes to a belief system, we are very serious and none are willing to lose. None are willing to lose. Chiefly in an argument, perhaps in a discussion. When we realize that we are losing, we either try to personally attack. No, it doesn't happen with everybody. We either try to personally attack our opponent or we try to digress by talking about things that has absolutely no relevance to the main subject, or bring a handful of experiences that can help us to confront situation that is in contrary to what we believe in. So in order to justify a point, we go relentlessly after it, only to realize that it's not going to fulfill us, but it's just an irrational attempt of mind to satisfy its ego. So this is absolutely my understanding. You have yours. I'm not here to give a motivational speech or neither influence. I don't believe in it. I don't believe that I'm an influencer or I can influence. No, I don't believe in that word. No person or no object can influence. I believe it's the idea, it's the action behind those ideas that can influence. So all I'm here to do is express myself. There is a message inside me. There is something inside me that haunts me. It keeps nagging. It says, come on, bring this out, share your views. And that's it. I'm here to express. So this ego is a troublemaker. So my little bit of understanding about ego is, ego's existence lies in identification. Identifying itself with certain traits, nature, people, certain belief system, conditions, impressions gathered from around, outside, and then trying to adapt and acting upon all of those based on the current state of mind. And now this makes it very difficult for it to see everything that is different and outside itself. So we always look down upon ego. Ego is always attached with the negative terms like selfishness, arrogance. But ego can also be positive, like self-respect, determination, passion, protecting one's dreams, going after it without losing focus, no matter how many times it deteriorates. Integrity, these are all good. So it's only a problem when it's about only oneself and it's absolute disregard for everything around and lesser than its expected standards. When that happens, when it doesn't get its way, it becomes restless to an extent that it may damage the essence of the whole subject, even a person. So this unyielding attitude to not to see or not try to see from different angles or trying to fit into one system will not serve any purpose. So, but then again comes here intuition. Intuition is a voice from within. It can only be heard when the mind is silenced. I believe my understanding about intuition is like, it's like a lightning that just appears and vanishes. It's eye-piercing. It's scary, but it's what it is. It's the truth. It doesn't know how, it doesn't know the logic behind things, but it just knows. That's it. So what comes to my attention may not come to you. So for others, it may be seemingly impractical, because that message was to me. We all have our secret messages received from universe. Some people notice it well, some goes unnoticed. Intuition doesn't have to listen to everybody because it's not limited to the three-dimensional space. So it's not to everybody's understanding. We all have our own. It's subjective. When you genuinely feel there's something right, we should go for it then. When we know it's right, we should go for it. But then again, there's no harm listening to others, taking others' opinion, because we never know. Messages comes to different sources, different source. Earlier, there used to be the time when I used to dodge or stay away from people with whom or things with which I don't connect on energy levels. Because I am a person, I believe in vibes. I believe energies never lie. But now what I've realized is sometimes it's okay to just listen. Even if we don't connect, even if it exhausts us, because there are energy vampires. You can feel it within you that you're exhausted for no reason. You don't feel like talking to them, you don't know why, you don't hate them, but don't connect. But it's okay. It's only when I come under the influence of my thoughts I feel exhausted. There's no harm just listening, taking the opinion, because most of the things only work when things, people, observations and wisdom comes together. It pulls together. And so there's no harm listening. We don't have to follow everything that society throws at us. We have a free will. We know what we want. We can use our cognitive functions, power of discernment, judgment in order to take necessary steps. But then again, it's very important to listen to others. What if we change after that? We never know. If some opinions can change us, then whatever we believed in the first place was never meant to be there. And if certain things don't change, then yes, we should go for it. Because it's strong enough to say, yes, I'm not going to change no matter how many opinions are, how many suggestions are shot at me. And one more important thing, most of the relationships fail due to the lack of communication. People stop communicating because it seems to be less interesting. Certain things turn them off, less stimulating. The connection seems less compatible. So they stop communicating. The terms like ghosting, gaslighting. They stop talking to each other. They stop explaining. So I believe it's better to come together, try to resolve, say goodbye if it has to be goodbye, instead of just not looking at each other. Because a distance of, a few meters can take you to kilometers and forever. It's better to be friends than strangers, or at least as an acquaintance. So please talk to your loved ones. Let's take others' opinion. We don't have to follow everything. I don't follow everything that's thrown at me, but it's okay. Oh, you have a point? Okay, thank you so much for your concern. No harm. Never let anyone put pressure on you because you have your understanding about yourself like no one else. Sometimes two countries in fight can come together just by communication. So it's okay to negotiate, reconcile, forgive, but only when that is within the limits of tolerance. When something goes beyond the limits of tolerance, then the only tolerance is intolerance. When a matter is very evidently heinous, it's atrocious, it goes against every act of humanity, against the law of nature, then it calls for punishment. There's no escape. It calls for punishment. There should be no delay in punishment. Other than that, yes, let's come together, let's talk, resolve, self-assessment, a good space, not too much of space, but a space between the heat and the resolution. If it's not meant to be, it's just not meant to be. So we have to let it go. There's no point in holding on or forcing that thing into our life. It will not serve any purpose. So it's good to communicate, try to resolve things, because communication will give us more clarity and introduces us to more truth. But it has to be two ways, with a good amount of space in between. So if the space increases, the matter loses its value. So I personally, when I don't connect with people on energy levels, I just try to stay away. And if I'm in a situation where I can avoid, I be there, but not absorb everything they say. Because it's in the most embarrassing, most disquieting or uncomfortable situation that we learn and grow. So know your worth. Our worth is more important. We are much bigger than the objects and people and everything that we try to attach ourselves with, identify ourselves with. You can't expect everybody to agree with you. It's subjective. We all have our individual opinion and understanding and experiences to back our arguments. So if something feels right, go for it. No harm listening to others. Ultimately, it's what's within that matters, especially when it comes to dreams. It may be slow, but it will be with something good and great. So let's give communication a chance and see what magic it brings into our life. Thank you. Take care.